to Titanium Tarot, and today I will be doing a Are You Knocking Yourself Out of Your Intuitiveness and How? Alright, so for this I'll be using some concepts from SuperConscious Education. I will also be using my intuition. Alright, and with that being said, my gorgeous triple tears, let's get into the content. Right, so the first group I'm going to intuit for are my perfectionists, the ones who know exactly how things should be done in order for them to turn out great, right? So, please, angels and God, or superconscious, please, superconscious, will my perfectionists be knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? I get a yes and a maybe. So, before I feel like you're gonna figure this out soon after you've knocked yourself out of your intuition. I feel like you're gonna notice that something's off, and you're gonna be like, okay, so what did I do? Where did I make a mistake? What should I do better? And you're gonna do that mental process. And then after you do that mental process, you might figure out what it is that you did, and you will be able to stop doing that, or you will not figure out what it was, and you might need some assistance from others to figure it out. Now, so these are the angels and guides. Anyone from the highest good who has a message from a perfectionist. How will they be knocking themselves out this week? And you got conscious choice through default, universal signs, and resolving a negative belief about yourself. Okay, so for my perfectionist, what I'm getting is that, like I said, you're gonna become conscious of the fact that something didn't go as it normally goes, and you're like, ha, I did something. Something did not go as planned, right? And then you're gonna be like, okay, so you're gonna check the universal signs, and you're gonna try and resolve a negative belief about yourself in regards to your intuitive style, and due to that, you're going to choose by default because you're like, well, if I'm having issues with my intuition, then I have no other choice but to take what's handed to me. That is what I'm getting, which, by the way, is never the case. You always have a choice. Okie dokie. So please. Okay, so now for my helpers. So, are my helpers knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? I get a no, a slight tinge of a yes. Slight tinge of a yes. I feel like the last day, on next Saturday, I feel like you'll be like, to hell with it, and just go with where the wind takes you. I hope that makes sense. So, please, angels and guides, how will my helpers be knocking themselves out of their intuition this week? You got conscious, choice through default, and universal signs. Aha. So, my helpers, what I feel is happening is that your subconscious is sending to your conscious brain that something's off, something's wrong, something's not going as planned, so pay attention. And that's when you are going to check out. So when you notice that something's off, you're going to go to your default, which might be universal signs at the moment. to like feed your intuition, and because of that default mode, your default mode, you will then move on to choose through default. Well, you'll choose through default because you've fallen back on your default mode. Okay, so that is for my helpers. Now, please, I'm gonna move on to my achievers. The helpers are the ones who know exactly what they need to do in order to assist any situation they come across. Then, well, now we have the achievers. The achievers are the ones who like to set goals for themselves and obtain them one by one, you know. So, so please, angels and guides, are my achievers knocking themselves out? I get a yes. Like, and it's like, no. So, whatever it is, you're gonna, and maybe. So, some of you are not going to knock yourselves out of your intuitiveness at the end of the week, but some are, is what I'm getting. Um, in which case, please, angels and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my achievers, please come forward and share how they will be knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week. Please, angels and guides. And ooh, we got a lot. Resolving a negative issue, choice to default, universal signs, reacting, and conditional choice. So you're trying to fix something about yourself that you have a negative belief about. Uh, but choice to default came out in the reverse. So and because you're solving a negative issue, negative belief about yourself, you're kind of deciding not to choose through default, to actually do the work and to try and get a whole new way of doing things, to download or to upload, to upload a whole new way of doing things, and to make sure that you have that uploaded new program in your system, in your mind, have been fully uploaded. You are going to check universal signs, see outside of you, or yeah, check outside of you if what you've installed as in your hard drive is fully uploaded, right? And once you see that it hasn't, well, you'll react, and then you'll be like, okay, conditional choice. I want this because I want that, or okay, so this is my end goal, and in order to obtain it, I'm gonna start by doing this. You should never start by doing something for a goal you want to achieve. You should just want the goal and then, or better yet, you shouldn't do something because it'll lead you to something else. You should just want the goal. It's not far from having a how should I say by having a inspired action. You want those. You want to follow your inspired action because those are signs from your angels and guides or ancestors or what have you that this is what you should be doing. Okay. Now let's move on to those are for my achievers. Now for my individualists, the artists, the YouTubers, the trendsetters, um, the influencers. So please, angels and guides, anyone can hide. good, who has a message. Well, not all influencers are individualists, but some individualists are influencers. So they're not mutually exclusive, is what I'm getting. Um, but you like to be the center of attention. Let's take that. So please, angels and God, wait, are my individualists knocking themselves out? No, and then a yes. I feel like you might get a little cocky at the beginning of the week, or not, yeah, confident, too confident. That will lead you to being cocky, right? So, what is it that might knock them out of their intuitiveness this week? Conscious reaction and conditional choice. um, you consciously see they want to work on something, and so you're reacting to what you are receiving, and because of that reaction, you are also putting a conditional choice on what it is you want. If that makes any sense. Yes. Now on to my investigators. So, yay. So, are my investigators knocking themselves out? I get a no, like a small no, and then a yes. So, at the beginning of the week, you won't, but towards the end of the week, you will. Uh, for the for the individualist, I did mention, are you getting too confident in what you are doing? And I thought of that, my investigators, are you getting too confident in what you're doing towards the end of the week? And is that the reason why you aren't relying more on your intuition? You know, the only way you can be 100% certain that you have something like ingrained within you from your intuition is if um, it has become a hardware, not software. One of your hardwares. Um, but that takes time. That takes years. And if it hasn't been years that you've been trying to do something or you've been doing a process, don't think it's already installed because it ain't. It's software. It's not hardware. Okay. Now, so how are my investigators knocking themselves out? We got conscious, universal sign, and conditional choice. Isn't that what I got for individualist? Which is interesting because I mentioned the individualist. Um, so my investigators, you are being, it's going to be slightly different. So my investigators, you are, you're pushing the boundaries, right? You're trying to be better at something. And because of that, you are consciously making sure that you are doing the right steps necessary to make sure that the plan goes flawlessly. And instead of looking inward to see what you are feeling and what your higher self is letting you in on, you are looking for external signs to see if it is actually going well. Right? That should be taken under, like, that should be taken with a grain of salt. Not the end all be all. It's just a sign that from the outside, it's not necessarily what your intuition is letting you in on. So just take it as a warning, and as well as because you're because of those universal signs, you are going to take a conditional choice as to, like, you'd be like, okay, I want this, but in order to get this, I want this to happen first. Or I want this to be completed before I move on to this. And that's how you are going to use your conditional choice in response to a universal sign due to your conscious understanding that something is slightly off. That makes sense. Now onto my loyalists, the ones who like to stick behind an idea. This might just be a married couple, right? They're loyal to each other. They want to make sure that the other is always well. You know, they want to make sure that everything's just right, right? So, are my loyalists knocking themselves out? I get a yes for the beginning of the week, and I get a no for the mid to late part of the week. Huh. So, please, angels and guides, how are my loyalists knocking themselves out of their intuition this week? Okay, you got resolving negative issue, indirectness, and reaction. Interesting. Okay, let me just lock these here. Okay, so my loyalists, well, you're trying. I talked about how you guys are probably the ones that I'm, the one that I got. This might be for one person or this might be for a couple. Not like two people, like for a couple of people is what I'm trying to say. So you are loyal to your partner, right? And you want to stick with them till the end. But something happened that made you think that there's something that you need to work on about yourself. And I feel like because of that dis-ease within yourself, you are being indirect with your partner, which is forcing either them or you to react to something that has been said. Because if it's not direct, it's not going to be exactly what needs to be said. And there's like this feeling of skirting around. Oh, okay. So because of your or the other person's indirectness, right? Someone's going to be like, I don't like this. This is like some nasty. I really don't like this feeling. So please, can we please work on this? Because if we don't, it's gonna fester and it's gonna turn out very nasty. Hmm. So what I'm getting is that this person is reacting in order to fix the minute issue that came about because of their indirectness, and your or their trying to resolve a negative belief about themselves. Okay. Now, now on to my enthusiasts. So please, angels and guides, are my enthusiasts knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? I get a no. I get a no. I get a no. Why do I feel the need to? I'm seeing a cheerleader or cheering squad. Do you have practice? Is your child? Does your child have practice? Look at me now. Look at me now. That's what I was hearing. I was hearing melody, not necessarily the words. In any case, so what am I getting at? Uh, for my enthusiasts, so how will they knock themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? Please, angels and guides. Oh, I got indirectness in my lap. got reaction on the table. Okay. So my enthusiast, I feel like something has got you off kilter, and because of that, you don't feel fully confident in your intuitiveness, and that's why you're being indirect, which has caused something to go slightly wrong. Just like for my loyalists, it's causing something to go slightly wrong, which and then not necessitates, but causes a reaction in the person that you're like in dialogue with. I hope that makes sense. Now, for my protectors. So, I can get these little bits of paper to cooperate. So, are my protectors knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness? Protectors will be the ones who who want to protect something to the bitter end. And I'm getting, not the bitter end, but till the end. I'm getting the idea of married couple came back to me. So are are my protectors knocking themselves out? Are you now? I'm getting a yes and a no towards the end of the week. I feel like at the beginning of the week you're gonna feel like you are the only one that can save this marriage. It takes two to tango. You can't just save it yourself. You can't, right? So please, angels and guides, anyone from the highest good who has a message from my projectors, please come forward and share. How are they knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? Conditional choice. I'm the only one who can save this marriage. That's a condition. This marriage will be saved only by me. Okay. Um, why is my question to you. A marriage, as I said, it takes two to tango. Okay. So it's not only, well, this doesn't necessarily have to be a marriage. This could also be something else that you're working on. For for some reason, so it doesn't have. It could be you trying to unite two things together. I don't know what that would indicate. I don't know. Okay, so that was for my protectors. Now onto my chameleons, the ones who use all the aforementioned intuitive styles. So, alright. Please, angels, that up. What am I doing? Are my chameleons knocking themselves out? I get a no, yes, no. This is bizarre. No, yes, no. So what are they doing at the middle of the week that's knocking them out of their intuitiveness? Word vomit. You are reacting to a universal sign about you about a negative belief about yourself that you're trying to resolve, and you're trying to do it conditionally by making a choice. Well, you're making a choice because of condition. which is not the best. And I mean, you're a chameleon. You can get out of any sticky wicket. Okay, so I just don't understand how. Well, you're knocking yourself out. So because I got a no, yes, no, I think you're gonna quickly. It might take you a day or two, but like you'll quickly notice that this is not the way you do things usually. So why are you staying stuck? You know. Okay, so my gorgeous triple tears. This is all that I have for you guys this week. If you like this and if you'd like me to go deeper into your specific situation, please contact me at the email in the box below. It'll be my pleasure to assist. In that same box, you'll find a little description of this video and my price for private readings, as well as the email you can send donations to on PayPal if you feel so called. And with that being said, my gorgeous triple tears, I wish you guys all a very good week, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye.